Good evening, everyone. The time is 7:34. I'd like to call this meeting to order. Mayor Pro Tem Ferguson, could you do the invocation, please?
Yes. Good evening, everyone. Father God, we thank you. Oh Lord, how excellent is your name in all the earth. And Father, we honor you and we give you glory and honor for your greatness and for your everlasting protection. And we just thank you for your keeping power. And we thank you for just being our refuge during this time of unpredictable weather and the storms that we have endured so far. And Father, I ask that you will continue to bless the city and this every home and property, the citizens of Glenarden, their families near and far, that you will keep us safe in Jesus' name. And we invite your presence into this meeting. We ask that you will bless us with wisdom and knowledge and counsel. And Father God, that your peace be upon us. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen and amen.
Amen. Madam Clerk, should you do the roll call, please?
Councilwoman Cross,
Here.
Councilman Harrison,
Here.
Councilman Herring,
Here.
Councilwoman Jones,
Here.
Councilman Williams,
Here.
Mayor Curtis,
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Ferguson.
Here.
That completes the roll call.
Motion to adopt the agenda.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Any opposition? Hearing none by unanimous consent, the agenda is hereby adopted. First item on the agenda are the minutes from February meetings, the work session, the public hearing, and the in the regular session. Is there a motion to bring the February minutes to the floor for a vote?
So move.
Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion? Any opposition from adopting the minutes from February? Hearing none by unanimous consent, the February minutes are hereby adopted. Excuse me. Next item on the agenda is the legislation for March. First is R 27-2026, a resolution to authorize NZI Construction Corporation to install 4 additional speed bumps on Glenarden Parkway in Ward 2. Madam Clerk, could you read that one, please?
Whereas the City Council of the City of Glenarden adopted Resolution 22-2022, establishing a speed bump pilot program to address traffic calming and pedestrian safety concerns on selected streets within the city. And whereas the speed bump pilot program was initially implemented in limited areas of the city to evaluate effectiveness, resident response, and traffic calming impact. And whereas the City Council has received recurring concerns from residents in Ward 2 regarding excessive speeding and pedestrian safety along Glenarden Parkway. And whereas Glenarden Parkway serves as a primary connector roadway within the city and experiences sustained vehicular traffic volumes. And whereas the city manager, in coordination with the Department of Public Works, has evaluated Glenarden Parkway in Ward 2 and identified appropriate locations for the installation of 4 additional permanent asphalt speed bumps. And whereas the City Council desires to expand the speed bump pilot program to include Ward 2 in order to promote equitable traffic calming measures throughout the city. And whereas NZI Construction Corporation has been awarded an indefinite quantities contract by Prince George's County, contract number 932-8, which satisfies the city's procurement requirements pursuant to Section 818B of the City Charter through the city's adoption of Resolution 4-24, and whereas Prince George's County conducted a competitive bidding process and awarded said contract to NZI Construction Corporation, and whereas the City Council finds that the provisions of Section 818B of the City Charter has been satisfied and the utilization of the county awarded contract is in the best interest of the city. And whereas funding for this project is available in the fiscal year 26 capital improvement plan, account number 7614-30-80-10. Now therefore be it resolved by the City Council of Glenarden, Maryland, sitting in the work session, the regular session, this 16th day of March 2026 as follows. The City Council hereby authorizes NZI Construction Corporation to furnish and install 4 additional permanent asphalt speed bumps on Glenarden Parkway in Ward 2. The total cost of installation shall not exceed $20,000, inclusive of materials, signage, labor, and associated hardware. The mayor and city council are hereby authorized to execute all contracts, purchase orders, and documents necessary to effectuate this resolution. The resolution shall take effect immediately upon its adoption.
I'll also note that the resolution number is R-27, 2026. The sponsor is Councilman Don Juan Williams. The date of introduction is on March the 2nd. Public hearing was held on March the 10th. With that, is there a motion to bring this resolution to the floor for a vote?
So moved.
Second.
Move to second. Any discussion? Councilwoman Cross?
We did look into the stop sign as well as the speed bumps on this resolution, correct?
Councilman Williams?
Yes, and the resolution has to spend up to 4, and we may not need 4, and that's what we're going to be looking at.
Thank you, sir.
Any other discussion, Councilman Harry?
Yeah, and I guess that was my question. Did we finalize how many we were actually going to need for that stretch of road? But I mean, I heard, we're just approving up to 4, but we might not need 4. So I'm good.
Okay. Any other discussion? Okay. Any opposition?
I do have one other question. So were we supposed to be hearing from, I saw your email, I think was it your email about the fire department or something?
Yes, unfortunately, I don't believe Assistant Chief Skolnick was available. Mr. Wood, did we hear from him at all?
Sorry. Yes, I did receive an email from him this morning and was looking through that. What I would say is there's some valuable perspectives really pertaining to not necessarily not moving forward with speed humps, but an alternative type of speed hump, which is a speed cushion, which is very similar to a speed hump. I think you guys might be familiar with, but they have small gaps in between them, and it allows for larger vehicles such as fire trucks to traverse them without being as dramatically impacted as your standard SUVs or cars. So that still falls within the realm of speed humps and bumps, and it's something that council can determine whether or not they would like to install those versus traditional speed humps at a future date. But that was the only primary takeaway from his correspondence, and I'll be more than happy to share his overall email with council. I just didn't get it until earlier today, and just didn't have a chance to share it with council.
Mayor?
Thank you.
Okay, thanks.
Okay. Any other discussion? Any opposition?
I'd like to ask for a voice vote.
Sure. Clerk?
Councilwoman Cross,
Yes.
Councilman Harrison,
Yes.
Councilman Herring,
Yes.
Councilwoman Jones,
Yes.
Councilman Williams,
Yes.
Mayor Curtis,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Ferguson.
Yes.
All right, this resolution passes. Next is R 2026, a resolution to authorize professional service contract with Charles P. Johnson and Associates for parcel evaluation, bundling analysis, and citywide real property valuation services. Madam Clerk.
So the resolution is R-2026. The sponsor is Mayor Derek Curtis at the request of the administration. The date of introduction was March 2nd, 2026. Public hearing was March 10th, 2026, and the regular session is today, March 16th, 2026. Whereas a resolution to authorize a professional service contract with Charles P. Johnson and Associates Incorporated for partial evaluation, bundling analysis, and citywide real property valuation services. Whereas the city of Glenarden owns multiple parcels of real property throughout the municipality, including a vacant and underutilized land, and whereas the city council desires to evaluate certain city-owned parcels for potential bundling, redevelopment, and disposition at fair market value in order to advance strategic economic development objectives. And whereas the city council further desires to obtain a comprehensive evaluation of all city-owned parcels to determine general market value, highest and best use, and develop based on environmental, topographical, utility availability, zoning assets, and other relevant factors. And whereas Charles P. Johnson and Associates, in coordination with Associated Appraisers LLC, submitted a proposal to provide certified real estate appraisal and valuation services in accordance with USPAP standard and Maryland law. And whereas the first element of the scope of services shall include the identification and evaluation of at least 2 potential bundles of city-owned parcels to determine feasibility of assemblage and sale at market rate based on defined criteria, including location, configuration, zoning compatibility, and developmental potential. And whereas the second element of the scope of services shall include the preparation of a comprehensive report evaluating all city-owned parcels to identify general market value and assess developmentability based upon environmental conditions, topography, access, utility, availability, zoning constraints, and other site-specific factors. And whereas the city council finds that engaging CPJ to perform these professional services is in the best interest of the city and will provide objective data to inform policy, budgeting, and potential disposition decisions. And whereas funding for the services is not currently available in the FY26 budget under the appropriate professional services account and must be identified prior to contract execution. Now therefore be it resolved by the City Council of Glenarden, Maryland, sitting in a regular session on the 16th day of March as follows. The City Council hereby authorizes the award of a professional services contract to Charles P. Johnson and Associates Incorporated for partial evaluation, bundling analysis, and citywide valuation services. The total compensation under this contract shall not exceed $50,000. The scope of services shall include, at minimum, the evaluation of at least 2 bundle assemblages of city-owned parcels for feasibility and potential sale at market rate, and the preparation of a comprehensive report evaluating all city-owned parcels to determine general market value and overall developmentability characteristics. The mayor and council are hereby authorized to execute the council and any related documents necessary for this resolution. The resolution shall take place immediately upon its adoption by the city council.
Thank you. Is there a motion to bring this resolution to the floor for a vote?
So
So
move.
move.
All right, Councilman Williams, I'll take yours, Councilman Herring, as a second. Any discussion? Councilwoman Cross.
Hearing this read, I believe it stated that there wasn't any funding for this at this time. And also considering the nature of this particular action, I believe that this is, should be sponsored by the entire council, particularly as the request of the administration, and the nature in which it actually will execute, which is parcels of land across the city. Thank you.
Any other discussion? I do have one, is that we accept this as read. We do have, just to make one edit, it does say work session, and the date is incorrect, so so correcting that would be great.
I will correct.
Any, thank you. Any other discussion? Any opposition?
1980.
Hearing none, by unanimous consent, the resolution is hereby adopted. Next,
Sorry, Mr. Mayor, did you note my opposition to this?
oh, I didn't, well, we could do a voice vote. That's fine. I'm sorry. I didn't see your hand. So, clerk, should do a voice vote, please, because I believe there's opposition.
Councilwoman Cross,
At this point, I abstain, noting my comments earlier.
Councilman Harrison,
Yes.
Councilman Herring,
Yes.
Councilwoman Jones,
Yes.
Councilman Williams, Councilman Williams,
Yes.
Mayor Curtis,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Ferguson.
Yes.
Resolution passes. Next is ordinance 07-2026, a resolution for an emergency stop sign. Madam Clerk.
The ordinance number is 0-007-2026. The sponsor is Don Juan Williams, Councilman. The date of introduction was March 2nd, 2026. Public hearing was March 10th, 2026, and the regular session is today, March 16th, 2026. This is an emergency ordinance to add a stop sign at Reed Street and Glenarden Parkway, -149-38 of the code. Whereas the city of Glenarden continues to address safety concerns throughout the community, and whereas Glenarden Parkway is a major corridor within the city and experiences consistent vehicular traffic, and whereas the intersection of Reed Street and Glenarden Parkway have been identified as an area where additional traffic control measures are necessary to ensure pedestrian and vehicular safety, and whereas the installation of additional stop signs at this intersection, including those controlling northbound and southbound traffic, is necessary to promote public safety and ensure orderly traffic flow, and now therefore be enacted and ordained by the City Council of Glenarden, Maryland, sitting in regular session. I have to change that. the day of March 16, 2026, that 149-38 of the City Code is hereby amended as follows. 149-38, Schedule 8, stop intersections. In accordance with the provisions of 149-12, the following intersection is hereby established as a stop intersection, and stop signs shall be installed as provided therein. Reed Street and Glenarden Parkway. Be it further enacted and ordained for the City Council of Glenarden that this emergency ordinance shall be effective immediately upon its adoption.
Madam Clerk, is there a motion to bring this to the floor for a vote?
So move.
Point of order.
Yeah, I'm
Should
sorry.
it be
Oh,
for
yeah.
the clause of emergency ordinance?
Yes, this should be voted for emergency.
Yes, sorry. Thank you, Councilman Harris.
Mm.
Is there a motion to bring this forward as the emergency ordinance?
Yes, I move that this legislation be adopted as a emergency ordinance.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, Madam Clerk, could you do a roll call for this to be taken up as an emergency ordinance?
Surely. Councilwoman Cross,
Yes.
Councilman Harrison,
Yes.
Councilman Herring,
Yes.
Councilwoman Jones,
Yes.
Councilman Williams,
Yes.
Mayor Curtis,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Ferguson.
Yes.
All right. This is now an emergency ordinance. Is there a motion to bring this emergency ordinance to the floor for a vote?
I move that we bring this emergency ordinance to a vote.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Second.
Second by Councilwoman Cross. Any discussion?
I just want to say something, Mayor, if I may.
Sure.
This legislation was brought to attention by one of the residents, Mr. Fields in Ward 2, who live on Glenarden Parkway, who came up to the City Hall on a number of occasions and had his vehicles damaged and warned the City Council about the speed traffic on Glenarden Parkway in Ward 2, and that we did not address Ward 2 speed humps when they put the speed humps in Ward 1 and Ward 3. So this also would hopefully help stop us spending on at least one of those speed bumps that we just recently approved for, up to 4, by having this stop sign, a 4-way stop sign at Reed Street. Will help with the traffic coming down the street from the hill, from the City Hall going towards Bright Seat Road. Thank you very much, Mayor.
Thank you. And Councilman Williams, I think it'd be a great idea to consider the stop signs to have the flashing lights on it, since it'll be brand new, so that people will know, because I do envision people, at least if we don't have that at the start, just driving past that stop sign because they're not used to it. So having that flashing sign as hey, this is new, could be helpful.
Yes, I agree.
Councilwoman Jones.
Thank you, Mayor Curtis. I also agree to having the flashing stop sign there, because that is a heavily reused avenue for residents, especially in the summertime when those children are going back and forth out of from the housing area over there to the 7-Eleven. They use that street. And also I advocate for this stop sign there because I was at that area looking to see where, doing a visual check of where we were going to put this stop sign, and I saw cars just come to that to the stop sign that's there and just go ahead and cross over Glenarden Parkway when cars were coming down Glenarden Parkway. So this is going to be advantageous for the neighbors and the citizens in that area to have that stop sign there, because people are just not stopping. And I saw that with my own eyes. Somebody's open and it's causing feedback. Thank you, Mayor Curtis.
Thank you. Councilman Williams.
As much as I hate say this after having that discussion with the vendor, and hopefully we get the city manager to report back with the vendor about the stop signs that we have currently with move violation that maybe after a trial period, that based on what Ms. Jones has said, that area right there be designated. We may move someplace else if we can't add, but that area right there be designated as a spot that we have a stop sign with the cameras on it.
Okay. Any other discussion before we move forward with the vote? Hearing none, Madam Clerk, could you do the roll call for this emergency ordinance, please?
Yes. Councilwoman Cross,
Yes.
Councilman Harrison, Councilman Harrison,
Say.
Councilman Herring,
Yes.
Councilwoman Jones,
Yes.
Councilman Williams,
Yes.
Mayor Curtis,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Ferguson.
Yes.
All right, this emergency ordinance passes. That concludes the legislation for March. Next on the agenda is topics of discussion. We have an elevator update. Mr. Wood.
Yes, good evening, all. Just want to provide an update to council where we are with the elevator addition project and to gather guidance on what the potential next steps may be. As I did share with council previously, some concerns about where we are currently with regards to obtaining permits needed for this addition to the building with the architect that we're working with, and believing since October that those permits had been and drawings have been submitted to the county for review and for hopeful permitting. We identified in January that according to the county database, those drawings had not been submitted. We confirmed that with the county and went through a number of different exercises to make sure that they weren't submitted and lost, or that they weren't lost in transition when the county moved to a different site. I've not received any correspondence with an explanation as to where or why those drawings were not submitted, and why, according to the county, there is no record of a permit request being issued, other than the initial application stating that there was in fact a project and that the drawings were going to be submitted. With that in mind, and understanding the urgency of council and understanding the urgency of this project, and that there's allocated money set aside currently, what I have been in conversations with Cornick Construction about, who was the vendor who was awarded the initial contract a couple of months ago by this council, is to transition to a design build model. And what this would allow us to do is to use the architectural drawings that were currently produced by the previous architect, to allow a new architect to review those drawings. If they are in agreement with those drawings, to put their own stamp on it and to then submit it to the county for review. That architect would be the lead in answering any questions, addressing any potential modifications, and going through that process, as the most architects do. And that would also give us greater level of accountability with a design build model. And at the conclusion of that, once permits are received, we would then be able to immediately begin construction of the elevator. And unfortunately, this would come with some additional costs. We don't know what that would be. And working with Brunson from Cornick Construction, the idea would be, if council wants to continue to pursue this path, to identify 2 or 3 different architects that would meet these requirements, interview them, identify or select one, and then move forward with a design build, and further discussions, potentially bringing that project and the construction or the renovation of council chambers and the nutrition center, senior center, all together as one phased project. Phase 1, the elevator; phase 2, the council chambers; and phase 3, the senior center, nutrition center. I think this would provide opportunities for all projects to continue to move forward expeditiously, to have one architect working and representing the city and moving towards the county, or working with the county, and one point of leverage to hold accountable. So this is one path that we've identified, but I wanted to bring this to council for discussion, and see where we might want to go from here. So with that, I will turn it back over to the mayor.
Mr. Wood, Councilwoman Jones.
Thank you, Mayor Curtis. So Mr. Wood, you're saying that we have not heard from the architect that was originally awarded this project?
That is correct.
The last time you had communication with her was?
The last time, and I can pull up the exact date, was an elevator. Oh, I'm sorry, a email to the architect on February
2026 is fine. Thank you.
Yep, sorry, February 25th. Yes. Stating that there would be a follow-up, and I have not heard anything since.
Thank you, Mayor Curtis.
Thank you, Councilwoman Jones. Councilman Williams.
Thank you, Mayor. Mr. City Manager.
Yes, sir.
Couple questions. How much did we agree to pay that particular vendor?
The total cost of that contract was $18,950, $10,050 payable immediately, with the remainder being paid in increments per the contract, monthly based off of site visits and other work. And it's my understanding that the entirety of that contract had been paid out some time ago.
We're put this for a topic for discussion for next month. I think we need to go after that vendor. We have her on tape lying to us on our meeting, telling us stuff was submitted on this open forum. So, and we can go back to the tapes. I think we need to take action against that vendor, recoup our money as we go hire a new one. That's what I like to discuss with the council at next work session about how we going to do that, because we just can't let people come in here and lie to us and be no repercussions and consequences because of their actions. All right, thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Any other comments? Councilman Harry?
Yes, I mean, I do have a concern with a design build out, because then who's going to advocate on our behalf if they're doing everything? And that's what I have a problem with, because they'll be designing, they'll be building out. She was supposed to be also the project manager on it, to make sure everything was done in accordance to architectural designs. And if they're going to do that, then that means I guarantee you won't get a whole lot of change orders on this project. So I still think we need to have somebody independent to oversee what they're doing. We just gave them we just awarded a multi-million-dollar, couple of $1 million contract, over $1 million contract, almost a $2 million contract, or whatever it is. And we're going to allow them to build and design and build. And if they come back to us and say we need to do some more to the architectural drawings or something else, I still think we need to move in a way that's going to be beneficial to us. Because again, I mean, that's like giving having a fox guard the hen house. I just think if we're going to do it, we need to have a separate person, because we get ourselves caught every time when we have the vendor doing everything and handling everything, and we end up spending more money than necessary, I feel. So that's just my concern.
Yes, sir.
Discussion? Do you need anything from us?
Yes. So what I want to make sure I'm doing is continuing to move and guide the contractors and our partners in a way that is consistent with council's wishes. And so what I want to make sure from council tonight is that, would you like me to continue moving forward with at least having Cornick identify 3 or 4 architects to interview and at least understand what the potential pricing and impact would be, kind of that next step in this project, or halt altogether, in which case I think we would kind of go back to the drawing board around identifying a whole new architect. And I think that the unique piece about this scenario is that we do have some level of CAD drawings that we're hoping to have an architect use, which hopefully would decrease some of the overall costs, since that work would have been done. So I think, do you want me to continue to move in that direction and then bring that next step back to you with costs associated and additional detail, or stop and not move any further?
Councilman Williams?
If Hornet does not have an in-house architect, then it's really not a design build from them. If they're not using their own architect it's not a design build. Most projects these days, major projects, are usually now being done by design build. You have to investigate whatever. That's the way of the world these days. If you're telling me and the rest of this council that Cornick does not have an in-house architect, and that we're going to have to interview one or two or three or four of them, then to address Mr. Herring's concern, it's not a design bill because it's not an one of their in-house architects that it's accountable to them all the way around. So we have somebody that will be accountable to us. Thank you very much.
Yeah. I'm sorry, was that Councilwoman Jones?
Thank you, Mayor Curtis. And at this juncture, I mean, this project has been dragging along like a little wagon from the past, from the Old West movie. I think we need to move forward. We're trying to find an architect, a reliable architect. Well, we won't know that till we get them. But if Cornick has somebody in-house, present them with their costs, and then find two other architects and present them with their costs so that the council can move forward on this project. My expectation is that information be made available at the work session on April the 2nd or the 1st, whichever date it is. Thank you.
Thank you. And Councilman Herring.
Yeah, let me ask a question. So do we have the actual plans in-house
Uh,
that she's done?
Can I answer, Mayor? Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Yes, we did secure those in November and download them in case anything happens. So we have those, and those have been shared with Cornick as the starting point if we wanted to bring in architects to interview, that they would be able to see what work has been done and what would be required of them. So yes, we have those in-house.
For elevator and downstairs?
For the elevator, I believe we have a version of the ones from downstairs. I just want to confirm that they are the most up-to-date version. And I don't believe that those were as comprehensive as the elevator, if memory serves me correctly.
So downstairs would probably be a start over.
Or at least, there would be some additional work to be done, yes.
No, if they're not as comprehensive as the elevator, I'm sure they're not. No, I mean, if I was an architect, I wouldn't,
Yes.
jump onto that.
Right.
I would think first. But with
Yes.
the elevator, which is more comprehensive, obviously she's got it to a point where it's ready to build out if we get it through permitting process.
Correct.
So
Yes.
okay, all right,
Yes, sir.
all right, thank you.
Mhm.
Okay, is there any opposition to move forward as I think Mr. Wood and Councilwoman Jones articulated, of seeing if Korenik has an in-house, then also getting two other bids and Mr. Wood bringing it to the council for decision? Any opposition?
Now let me ask: the two other bids, then we independent bids from Cornick, or are we going to search out? We're going to search for ourselves.
Mr. Wood?
What I can do is, I know Cornick was going to bring 2 or 3 or 4 different vendors and bids to be interviewed, and those brought back to the council. If council wants, I can draft an RFP and go through that process as well. I'm looking at the date, the 16th. I don't know if I would be able to draft it and publish it and then get responses back all by the first meeting in April. But regardless of the dates, if that's a parallel process that council wishes, I can explore that as well and move forward down that path as well.
Okay, I mean, I guess again, it comes down to Cornick basically going to do the bid process for us, and
Correct. Yeah.
What I mean, I guess I'm not understanding how does that work in our best interest? You know, I mean, all they got to do is do a bid process and pad whatever extra into that bid process or whatever. I mean, I'm just looking out for the best interest of the city. We got to do our due diligence also. So I think we still may need to put something out just in case, just to get a comparison. We don't know if what they bring
Sure.
is padded or what.
Absolutely, we can certainly do that. I think the one benefit that I would think is at the end of the day, if Cornick put these out and these are 3 or 4 vendors that they'd recommend or at least present to us to interview, there would be a level of accountability and expectation so that we don't end up so that we're able to move this project uh, forward. But I definitely hear your concerns as well, and so um, we can do one, we can do the other, we can do both at the same time. Yeah. Uh, all of the above.
All right, thanks.
Councilwoman Jones.
Thank you, Mayor Curtis. I am not interested in Cornick being the sole provider of an architect. Just like that little bitty plumbing project that we just had in the city. I was not pleased with that, but well, that's another story for another day. I'm looking for, like Mr. Herring said, we have to do our due diligence, independent from, you can bring the person in from Cornick and then find 2 other people to present us with, so that we will be, as Councilman Herring is saying, we will be protected as a city. Thank you.
You. And Councilman Williams.
I don't think you need a RFP, Mr. City Manager, just as though Cornick has people they know to bring to you. I have people, or we can find people ourselves that we do our diligence to bring in and interview. So you don't have to do an RFP. We can bring in some people who have done work in this county, uh, that's registered with the county, who put stamps on people in this county to come in and do an interview without putting an RFP that's going to be lengthy to meet the date that Ms. Jones has to have it by April 2nd. So I can help you work with that. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman.
Okay. All right, so we're all in agreement that we would get some bids. If there are people that have worked with the county, that is a way not to, have to extend the timetable. But bringing in different options for the council to make a decision.
Point of order, Mayor Curtis.
Yes,
The
Councilwoman Jones.
work session for April will be on April 6th. Thank you.
Mayor,
Yeah.
right quick. So I mean, just the charter does have the Section 825, the professional services exception, where we don't have to do the bid process. So just look that up. I think you can circumvent the whole RFP thing and just find somebody.
Yes, sir. Good
And it
point.
spells out what you got to do. Yeah. So 825 has and it specifically spell out architects as a professional exception.
Perfect.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Okay. Thanks.
Next topic is 4th phase development on Bright Seat Road. Mr. Wood.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. So the Glenarden Hills project is entering phase 4. And so phase 4 consists of 73 single-family townhomes. So that's very exciting. That will be the last piece of what was a total of 424 units. The townhomes will be 120% of AMI. What they are requesting of the city is for the city to take over the maintenance of 2 stormwater, what they call swells, which are essentially stormwater management characteristics built into the sides of the road. And that's part of licensing an agreement with the county. Mr. Mayor, if I could share my screen.
Second.
Right. I don't know if everybody can see this. And so, can everybody see this?
Yes.
Okay. So what you see here is Evart Street, and up north here, you see Bright Seed Road where my cursor is. What they are asking the city is on Evart Street here, you'll see this darkened area here, and a small darkened area here. This larger area or stretch is about 100 feet, and this second area is about 50 feet. And they are stormwater sloughs. And so what they're asking is that if Public Works would be willing 3 to 4 times a year to drive through and maintain and make sure that there's no debris or trash or litter or anything in there. And these wells also tend to have um, a biological ecosystem underneath that helps break down other plant and other matter as it enters the swell, but it acts as a retention for water runoff. And the reason that they're asking the city to maintain it is because the way the development is occurring, this area is within the 10-foot right of way that the city owns. And so all of the other stormwater retention efforts and requirements are on the HOA property, and they're maintaining it. But because this is in the city right of way, they're asking if the city would be willing to maintain it. And if I can, sorry, I was trying to show what it would look like, but I don't know if I can move this. Oh, here we go. So can everybody see this?
Yes.
Okay. So this is essentially what it would look like. This would be the road and a little swell here. So just to make sure that there's no blockage or debris or litter in there a few times a year is essentially what they're asking. And this piece with regards from the city is the primary piece that's needed for a final permit from the county to be issued for them to move forward with phase 4. If this does not happen, then I will certainly go back to them and tell them that they need to find some other workaround. And the agreement is a standard agreement that the county has kind of a boilerplate template that municipalities all across the county have used. And so certainly before anything would be signed or agreed upon, that overall agreement will come back before council for review prior to signature and sent for legal sufficiency. But on the call, the county was a part of it, and they did assure that this is something that other municipalities have agreed to, and that there is some pretty standard language that they're able to provide for both parties. So the county is kind of acting as a neutral party. So that's all I have. So I'll stop sharing my screen and take any questions.
Thank you, Mr. Wood. Councilman Williams.
Ms. Jones was hand was up first. I'll defer.
Okay. Councilwoman Jones?
Thank you, Councilman Williams, and thank you, Mayor Curtis. My question is, would this require Public Works to have any type of training? Is training provided from the county as to how this should be done? Because if I'm not mistaken, Public Works in the past has taken care of the swells between the library and the one that runs up between. So it's going to be basically the same thing that runs between the library and that residential area that separates McLean and McLean.
Absolutely, Councilwoman. You hit the nail on the head. It would be very similar. It would be even smaller than that swell. But yes, it would essentially be the same thing. Yes.
And the training? Because I'm
Uh,
not sure if they were ever really trained on that. It's just something that they did. But as far as if they want us to do it now, I think they should give some formal training as to what it is that they actually do want done. I mean, it's one thing to pick up debris, but it may be something else that we're not familiar with that we need to know.
That's a great point, Councilwoman. I will circle back with the county and get clarity if there is special training required, and if there is, make sure that um, Public Works receives it and receives it at no cost.
Thank you. Thank you, Mayor.
You. Councilman Williams?
We taking over that, is that at a cost that they want us to do it and not get compensated for?
Yes, Councilman Williams. Yes.
Okay. And what is your recommendation?
My recommendation is, obviously that is not an ideal scenario. I understand that this is something that has been done before, and we've maintained it. I think it's a fairly small stretch, and I don't want to delay 74 market rate townhomes. But I think some training and understanding what other incentives could be provided to the city would certainly be a welcome conversation.
Yeah, you said a whole lot but didn't say anything. You didn't answer my question. What is your recommendation that these are your people that would have to do the work? So I'm trying to say, I'm asking, are you recommending to the council that we take on this task at no cost? And now I hear what you're saying, that there's 74 market rate houses coming on and more money, whatever. I got that. But I want to be put on the record, that's your job, that you're recommending to this council that we take on that responsibility.
Yes,
Or not.
Councilman. Yes, Councilman. At the cost and frequency as articulated to me, yes, I don't think it would be prohibitive with the workload that Public Works has to do this a few times a year. Yes, it would be
All
my
right, thank you.
recommendation.
Thank you.
Okay. I'm
Mayor,
sorry, Councilman Harry. Yes.
Yeah, I guess my question is a quick one, and so the property that they want to use is the property in our right of way,
Yes, sir.
and they fill out any paperwork for permitting or anything else like that for us to authorize them to use that right of way, and also in that right of way, that's also a right of way for sidewalks. Will that interfere if we decide to put a sidewalk over there?
Yes, it would. We would have to navigate around it, and or there would have to be some type of under drain work, I would imagine. Again, I would have to see exactly where it was in that 10-foot right of way, to understand, is there still enough space to put a sidewalk, on what side of that swell. But I would imagine that we would, at the bare minimum, have to design around it. I don't know that we would, be the first to have to do that, but yes, that is something to consider. And
And
to
also,
your other question, No, I do not believe to date, and I will confirm with um, Manager Green. But no, I do not believe that they have filled out any uh, permit requests with the city. That all of this is taking place at the county level.
Okay, because again, my concern is also, as some of the other council members, is that county is solely responsible for stormwater management, and they have people to do that, and so now they want us to do it, on our side, for free. I can barely get them to come out here and clean the ponds over there in Frost, over there in Ward 2, at Frost and Glenarden Forest. Or down here at the end of Delwood. They don't even want to come out here and do that. But yet, they want us to clean this swell that they want to put in when they're supposed to be responsible for it. But all right, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Councilwoman Jones.
Thank you, Mayor Curtis. My other concern is security. Is it if thinking at the one at the library, where they have a fence around it, where who's going to be responsible for putting in that fence? Are they going to initially put all of this stuff in first, and then we just maintain it? Is that what they're saying, or do they want us to bring the rocks and all of the things necessary to build out a swell?
No. So great question. This one will be significantly smaller, so it would not require a fence around it. And no, all of the material, the design, the construction of it would all be done, yeah, by the contractors and the development team. I believe the contractors. Sorry, I have that information here. The infrastructure work would be done by a company called Harkins. But no, we would not be expected to be responsible for any of the rocks or the replacement of any of that. All of that would still be at the cost of Glenarden Hills.
Okay, so you're saying that swell won't need security at all?
Yes, as it was articulated to me, it would not be large enough or deep enough to require a fence or any type of security. Yes.
If you got children going across it or around there playing in it, small children, somebody not looking, and somebody just happens to fall in, no matter how deep it is, it's still advantageous to have security. Thank you.
Agreed. Yes, Councilwoman.
Thank you, Councilman Jones. And so, Mr. Wood, the alternative is that the developer goes to the county, who would then be responsible for maintaining it. I'm guessing it will cause a delay in finalizing the project.
So I would say yes, they would have to find an alternative path. It was not clear to me what that alternative path would be. I would imagine that it would ultimately either fall on the county or we would sign over or come to some agreement that particular right of way would be, I don't know about turned over, but maintained by the HOA or the county. There would have to be some agreement reached since that right of way is technically city property to allow some other entity or the county to maintain it. So I would go back with that request and we would chart a path from there that I would then come back to council with as the alternative option.
And the other question is if we told them to go the alternative option, let's say the county takes it up, that still wouldn't prohibit us from, if we did see something, we could just move it, right?
No, it would not prohibit us from doing that at all. I would imagine. I can't imagine
Yeah.
it would.
Okay. All right. Councilman Herring.
Yeah, just one thing. I mean, actually, it would, because that's a stormwater management retaining pond. So once it's in, it's in. So we had to. I don't think you'll be able to move it once it's in.
Oh,
So,
I'm sorry. No, not move it. I mean, if we saw something that we wanted, like debris or something to take out. I'm sorry. I thought
Oh,
that's
you
what
talking about
Mayor
debris? I
Curtis
thought you were
was.
talking about moving the pond. Oh, debris. Well, you good luck with that one. But you know, because I'm telling you, I've seen a county at that. Anyway, I mean, if you get a moment, when you get a moment, if you can actually find out exactly where it's going to be, I would like to go over there. If you can show me where it's going to be at, I would like to actually put my eyes on it. All
Absolutely.
right, thanks. Okay.
And final word on this topic to Councilman Cross.
Thank you, City Manager. One of the questions that I have is maintenance and upkeep. We have that responsibility at a no cost. But the thing about wastewater, stormwater runoffs is that they do run off. At which case, then who maintains it at that point? So it's bigger than just cleanliness and picking it up and making sure no debris is there. When those plants, we have a drought, they die, they have to be replanted. The vegetation has to be tailored to maintained. And it's a serious undertaking to take on a stormwater management project. So have we considered, 5 years down the road when this thing's, done run off and has widened and has not contained itself, what's the alternative? Thank you.
Yes, Councilwoman, that's, oh, sorry. Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say that's a great point, and I think with regards to the vegetation and the other elements required to keep it operating efficiently or as efficiently as it should be, I would certainly make sure that in the agreement that the cost for that and the replacement of those types of things would be the responsibility of the HOA. We are simply keeping debris and maintaining it from a health of and efficacy standpoint. I think that's a great point that you raised about what happens when and if it fails. And to be quite honest, that's something that we are looking into and trying to understand, or at least I'm trying to understand right now, with the retention reservoir right off of MLK, where it is city-owned land, but it's a retention pond right as you come into Glenarden. And I know that we've had a couple of state individuals kind of look at that. And there has been some runoff with some of the severe rains that we had into some properties. And so that is something that we're looking at there. I think this area, just given where it is and where it's facing, there would be less risk. But we would certainly want to look at all eventualities so that in 5-7 years we're not in an unforeseen circumstance.
Okay. Do you need anything from us?
No, Mayor.
Okay.
I think I have a pretty good, clear understanding and can communicate back with the developers in the county.
All right. Curb cut at 3640 Tyrell Drive.
Mayor, can I just before we move on? So, what is your understanding, Mr. Wood?
Oh, yes. That the city council has some reservations, and there's some particular questions that we still need answered before we would agree.
Okay.
And I think one of the main ones is what is the alternative plan? And B, what are the implications when and if the city decides not to move forward
Okay.
taking ownership?
Okay. Because don't they have a retention pond at the corner of Evarts and Bricey Road? They're supposed to be putting a water retention pond there.
Do they?
I don't know. Anyway, we can talk about that
I'll take
later.
a look. Yeah, I'll take a look. Absolutely. Because that would be another question for sure.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right. Thank you, Mayor.
Next topic is a curb cut at 3640 Tyrell Drive. Council members may remember the gentleman from the residents came probably in January, I believe, to discuss this. Um, yeah, Mr. Green, I see you've unmuted yourself. Do you have anything additional to add?
Good evening, everyone, and thank you, Mayor Curtis. Um, I don't have anything to add at the present moment. We're keeping an eye on the property, but we have not had any other discussions with the property owners. I think they were waiting for the council to have a meeting to discuss.
Thank you. At the last meeting, we decided that we would wait. I think council members, I don't know if they want to see the property or think on it. But now we're at a decision point on, whether we want to grant this or not. I think some of the issues where there are some properties that have two curb cuts. Another issue was that uh, the legal ramifications of us denying a curb cut, that if we don't have um, a substantial reason for denying a curb cut, then like the owner on Glenarden Parkway did, just go to a court and then the judge will actually tell us to grant the curb cut. So those are all the factors that go into this. I think they've held on to this for a little bit longer than expected, but and I think I believe it was Councilmember Williams asked last time what was the fine, because they went to the county, they got a permit, but they did not come to the city and get a permit. And I think we left without knowing the exact fine. Mr. Green, did you figure out what the fine is for them starting a curb cut without approval?
Mayor Curtis, yes, it's $1,000 for doing it without a permit.
Thank you. And so now we're at decision time. So I open the floor to the council. Council Member Williams.
Thank you, Mayor. I would recommend to the council, strongly recommend to the council that we just issue them a municipal infraction fine and be done with this. I know some of us want to get in our feelings about they did the wrong thing, but people commit wrong things every day. Uh, and that will be the punishment, and let's move on, because I think it's more of embarrassment if we want to fight it and go to court and the judge tell us we have to do it. And that's what I believe will happen. So I strongly recommend to this council that we just fine them $1,000 and move on. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Councilwoman Jones.
Thank you, Mayor Curtis. I had an opportunity to look at what's been done. The curb's already been cut. It's been sitting open since this came before the council. It doesn't really impose on the property next door. And I think the former city manager, Bill, was his last name Ferguson? Or no, but I know his first name is Bill. But he lives next door. We haven't heard anything from him. If the code enforcement wanted to go and ask him how he felt about it, because the property is wide enough where it's not imposing on his property, but it's wide enough for them to sustain that apron that they've want to put there. So I don't have any issue with them doing it. Like I said, I have a second apron on my property. I just haven't asphalted it yet, but the curb is already open. So um, I don't see any issue with allowing them to go ahead and since it's already, there's no imposition on any other property unless the council wanted code enforcement to go and talk to his next door neighbor, which was our former city manager, uh, to find out his feelings on it before we render a decision. But my decision right now would be just to go ahead and allow them to finish what they're doing. Thank you.
you, Councilman Jones. Councilman Harry?
Yeah, I don't agree with it. I don't agree with it because we denied a person in Ward 2 the same right to add a driveway to the front of their house when they wanted to open up the curb. The curb cut wasn't already there. The curb cut, they opened up the curb without permission. There was no curb cut already there. Um, I think that you set a bad precedent because then every house on the corner can actually have 2 and 3 driveways if they want them, and you start having your neighborhood look like a parking lot. We got to protect the integrity of our community. Um, you know, we continually, allow people to do things, and then once it's done, we realize that it was a mistake because then everybody else gonna want to do it. So if you deny somebody in Ward 2, now you're going to approve somebody in Ward 3. I don't understand that. I don't understand that. I think that we again need to protect the integrity of our neighborhoods. It's a bedroom community, not an industrial space, not a parking garage, not a parking lot. I think that he's got already got a 4-car driveway there. So now they're gonna have 7-car driveway, 7 cars. You know, I just think it's a bad idea. I think we should just deny it and not allow it. And I mean, because it's other citizens, even though the citizens don't speak out, some people may not speak out because they don't know what's going to happen or they don't know what the retaliation is going to be. And we as council members got to look at them and look at how they sit, look at where they sit in the community and how it affects them personally and affects surrounding properties around them. I mean, I wouldn't want to live next to a house that has 7 cars parked out there and 2 driveways or 2 huge driveways. Um, you know, I just think that we are not being fair across the board when it comes down to this thing. And as a matter of fact, in the legal aspect of it is we've denied people before to build. There is no legal implication for this. We can deny them the right to put a driveway in. We don't have to have them put a driveway in. The only reason we went to court on Glenarden Parkway because it was a house and it was a zoning issue, and that was the difference. So according to the zoning code, they could build a house. So we had to open up the curb. We don't have to give them a driveway. They don't have to have a driveway there. That is not a particular zoning issue. So I don't agree with it. I think we shouldn't do it. I don't think we should open up that Pandora's box because again, I could put like 1, 2, 3. I could put about a 4-car driveway on the side of my house. The person across the street can do the exact same thing. Person on each corner can probably do that because they have bigger lots. And I think that's a bad precedent to set. I think it's a bad thing to start. All right, thank you.
Thank you. Councilwoman Jones. Was that?
Yes, for clarity's sake, the person in Ward 1 that was denied the driveway in front of his house was because the county felt like where he wanted to put the driveway was going to be right on top of Mr. Cousins' property. And they said it was too close to the property line, and that's why he was denied the driveway. And then when he went to get the appeal done and they kicked it back to the city, we as council members agreed that because he wanted to put that driveway right on top of Mr. Cousins, the former Mr. Cousins' property, that's why he was denied a driveway. And in this case, it's like my neighbor on 3rd Street that has 2 driveways. The space is there. It's not going to impede or encroach on somebody else's property. But if somebody came along that wanted a driveway that was be on someone else's property, or it was going to encroach the residents, if what we can do, if we want to do it formally, is we can send the person back to the county. He can go through the appeals board. And if the appeals board kicks it back and says they don't see a problem and go to the city again, then we can make the decision then. I mean, there's other different avenues that we can take, but I mean, I'm just seeing that, looking at it and looking at how the county will come back with that. We're just stalling and wasting time. So that's my thought on that. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, can we just go for consensus? Yes to allow it with a fine, and no to deny it. Councilwoman Jones,
Yes.
Councilwoman Cross,
Yes.
Councilman Hairston,
The yes is to approve it, but give them a fine, correct? Yes.
Councilman Herring,
No,
Councilman Williams,
Yes, with a fine.
Mayor Pro Tem Ferguson,
Abstain.
and I am yes as well.
Can I ask one question before we move on for this?
Yes,
And
sir.
this is to Mr. Green. So is the fine $1,000 or $1,000 per day of the violation?
In the actual code,
Yeah.
it referenced section 52-2, and and I know where you're coming from, Councilman Herron. Usually it's a violation, it's every day the violation exists, it's a separate fine. In this case, it doesn't say that explicitly. It just says that it's $1,000.
Okay. All right. Thanks.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Now moving on to administrative reports. Council members had a couple weeks now to look at the administrative reports. City manager, did you want to deliver your report? Or did you want to just open it up for questions? I know you.
The only thing I would just want to add or provide an update with regards to a couple of personnel updates. I think when I wrote the report, we were in the final stages of the background process for the Tech 1 at Public Works. As of today, the new Tech 1 started, and Public Works has that employee started. So that's good news. And with regards to the Public Works director, it's been on the street now for, I believe, 3 weeks. And to date, I believe we have, or I'm sorry, as of Friday, I didn't check with Karen today, but as of Friday, I believe we had 6 applicants, 2 that were somewhat qualified, and so I will talk with Karen to make sure that we keep that open. It's currently on Indeed, Maryland Municipal, and our website. So I just wanted to provide those 2 updates as well.
Thank you, Mr. Wood. Any questions for Mr. Wood about administrative
Yeah.
reports? Okay, Councilman Herring, then I'll go to Councilwoman Jones.
Yes. Question. Where are we at with the go room leak?
Great question, Councilman Herring. Yes, so we did have an assessment done by Hugh. Do you see that? Sorry.
See what?
Sorry, something just popped up on my screen. Yes, Hugie completed an assessment. We did do some minor patchwork ourselves on the roof for a couple of the pinholes that we had noticed and knew needed to be addressed. So that has been taken care of. With regards to the insulation and some of the more robust work, we would still need a contractor to come in and do that. I did reach out to, sorry, I don't have the name of the company, but Councilman Herring, you gave me the name of the company that did the roofing. Yes, and so they are hopefully scheduled to come out within the next couple of weeks. They were pretty slammed out to do an assessment of the roof. And we were also able to replace the ceiling tiles in the gold room, and to date have not had any more incidents. But there will definitely still need to be some work done in the coming weeks.
Thanks. Also, I was out this morning. I noticed that the sandwich boards weren't out. What time did they get out today?
I know they were out by 9 a.m. Sorry, I'm looking at my phone. Yes, 9 a.m. today, and did speak with the team about that, and are implementing some new protocols to make sure that they're out on Fridays. That's just not acceptable. Absolutely.
Yeah, because I mean, I'm not understanding what the issue is. We have 3 meetings that they got to remember a month, and they normally don't change. So I didn't understand why they didn't get out till this morning.
A- Absolutely, and that's, as a city manager, that's something I'm going to make sure to that the team, remembers. It's in my phone as a reminder now, and on my calendar, and so definitely something that I will make sure. I know it's happened twice in the last, I think, 6 weeks or so, and something I'm going to be on top of. So I apologize to council and to the residents, and definitely something I will make sure that myself and the team are on top of moving forward.
All right, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Councilwoman Jones?
Thank you, Mayor Curtis. My question is concerning the status on the public safety money, but before you answer that question, I just want to give citizens an update of what that pertains to. And I would ask Councilman Herring, if I'm saying the wrong thing, please chime in and correct me if I got this wrong, because I'm not sure I have that whole concept together yet. Public safety money was awarded to, or in the agreement, when the houses in Woodmore were built, that the city would receive $2,000 per house, I think it was, for public safety. And at the time, the city was not prepared to have the police station built, but now we're in the process of trying to build a police station. I worked on this for a year prior to this, to 2025. And then I had asked at that time, the assistant city manager to form a letter to send to all of the county council, from the county executive to the county council members, asking that we receive this money, that we can move forward with building our police station. So we sent a letter. The letter was sent, I think, last year to each person in the county council and the county exec. I noticed that their budget came. She sent their budget over to the county council for them to approve. And I'm wondering if our monies for this public safety was retained in this budget, because of the fact, even when this, to me, when this, I may be wrong, but once the county took the monies and put it in their coffers, it should have been in a line item on the budget saying that this money is sitting there because it belongs to the city of Glenarden. But I might be wrong. But do you have any status on the public safety monies from from our county council?
Uh, Mayor, can I respond?
Yes.
Great question, Councilwoman Jones. And I'm sad to report that I don't. On Wednesday, I was supposed to meet with the county, and was not able to get a clear articulation from them. And so on Wednesday, March 11th, I sent a follow-up email to County Councilwoman Stafford Adams, again with the original email copied, or I'm sorry, attached to this email, articulating our desire to move forward, our need for that money, and for additional support from our representative, and have not heard back yet. Additionally, on the 11th, and this is not a direction or an act I take lightly, but I reached out to our legal team, and articulated the situation, in hopes to understand what our legal actions could be as a municipality, and outlined, the requirements set out in state and county code, and the approximate amount owed to the city based off of the Woodmore development. And we'll be following back up with Mr. Karpinski, because I think at this point, as you articulated, Councilwoman Jones, given the level of effort and the outreach that you and all of council, as well as the staff, have made both directly to the county and to our representatives with, I would say, little is a generous way of articulating success. I at least want to be able to present council with what alternative actions might be available, since that is a sizable amount of money that we certainly need to move forward with, or to continue moving forward with the police station without putting that on the residents' shoulders. And so my hope is to have a calculation of what our legal steps are by the April 6th meeting, and to be able to bring that before council.
Thank you. I really certainly didn't want to go that route, but if we have to go that route to get an answer, even if they just come to us and give us, I was looking for give me an answer. One of the county council persons that I asked about it, they just stood there and looked at me and said, well, where do you think that money is? And I'm like, oh, you're playing me for stupid and I don't like this. But I didn't want to go that route, but I would like to have an answer. And if that money is rightfully ours, it should be given to the city of Glenarden so that we can move forward with our police station. Because believe me, when that police station is built, I'm sure county policemen will also be seated over there somewhere at some time utilizing the facilities. Thank you.
Couldn't agree more, Councilwoman Jones, and I apologize if I didn't, but I will forward the email that I sent to County Councilwoman Stafford Adams to the council, as well as the email that I sent to our legal team, just for awareness.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Any other comments?
Mayor, may I have one other one?
Yes, sir.
Um,
Councilman.
Yeah, also, Mr. Wood, send it to Councilwoman Jolene Ivy also.
Oh, yes.
Because again, like Councilwoman Jones said, I mean, they're playing stupid games now. They know that money is ours. It's been ours since the houses were built. It's $800,000, and they done threw it in the general fund, and now they don't want to take it out because they got a deficit. You know, so yeah, you know. But also, what about the project charge? Where are we at with that? I mean, have we did what we had to do for that?
Great question. And sorry that I didn't touch that. Yes, I spoke with our representative last week. We had a meeting. Everything for our end for this fiscal year has been submitted, and she's currently reviewing FY25. There were some changes at the county, and so some of the things weren't reviewed. There have been some changes to project charge over the last couple of months. I'm glad to say that we still have to date our project charge award. There were some municipalities that were originally awarded those contracts, and then midstream the county kind of pulled that money back. So I'm glad to say we are not one of those municipalities. And so to date, everything is still under review for FY26, but I was kind of told by our representative that no news is good news, and she's looking to close out FY25 by the end of this month. So hopefully everything that we have submitted is easily processed, and we'll be seeing that reimbursement hopefully in the next month or so. So I will certainly make sure to keep that on the radar and update council, but we try and stay in contact with our representative, or at least I try to every couple of weeks, just to make sure we're doing everything we need to do. There's nothing I missed, and that we're staying on top of things.
Yeah. One other thing, And this is just for to go back because actually I looked up in the code and I think Mr. Green need to clarify what he said about that fine. Because I think that fine is by day, the $1,000 fine. So, Mayor, if you can ask him to speak on that again to make sure what he said was correct, I'd like to, hear from him. Thank you.
Mayor, if I may.
Yeah, yes, you may, Mr. Green.
Yes, thank you. And thank you, Councilman Herring, for circling back to me as it relates to that. I did look a little more deeper into the code. And first of all, it is a daily fine. So if we're going to fine them, I would hope that the city council could give me some guidance on how much of the fine, because again, it's every day. So in this case, it's not $1,000 because they violated section 52-2B, I believe, and that fine is $500, and it's a per day fine.
I'm sorry. So it's not $1,000.
No, it's 500.
So where do we get the $1,000 from?
So the code usually it's $1,000 when you do work without a permit. In this particular case, the city's code is broken down. So if you violate section 52-2 of the code, that's $1,000. 2A, that's $1,000. If you violated section 52-2B, then the code says that that's $500. And so I mistakenly looked at the wrong section. So it is $500 per day because each fine is considered a separate infraction, which allows the city to charge 500 per day.
Sorry, can you cite that section again? It was 52.
52-2B.
One that was violated.
That's correct.
And do we know what date they violated that?
I would need to look at my pictures and actually get the date that it actually happened. I know it was sometime in late, I think mid-January, if I'm not correct, but I would need to find out. I could check with the code officer who's responsible for that property.
Councilman Jones.
Thank you, Mayor Curtis. But in that violation time and up till now, it was up to us to come up, when they came to us with it, it was not all the way until now. So, I mean, I can't even fathom that we would charge them $500 a day up till today, because we've waited this long to come to bring it up at a meeting again to discuss it, to decide what the outcome was going to be about it. I just can't see us charging them $500 a day from January until this time in March. But I'm only one council person, one vote.
Thank you, Councilman Jones. No, it wouldn't, because the council made a decision to hold off on it, so they wouldn't be charged for the time we said they were gonna hold off on it to now. They'll be charged for the time that they did it to the time that it was initially brought to the council. I would take it. It'll be brought to when they did it to the time where Mr. Green and his team put a stop work order on it. Right, Mr. Green?
Yes, correct. Yes, we
Okay.
can. Well, absolutely.
Okay, so if you could just research that and get back to us what that fine would be from the time that it was done to the time where you put a stop work order on it, so we'll know what that was. Because I think you said it started in January, and I do believe the stop work order came in January, correct?
It absolutely may have, if you would allow me the opportunity to
Yep,
confirm it.
yep,
Yep.
that's fine.
Would you, Mayor Curtis, because I can confirm that tomorrow, would you like for me to send something around to the entire council so you can know right
Yeah,
away?
yep, just send it to the entire council so we all can be made aware.
Yes, sir. Take care.
All right. Well, since you're up, Mr. Green, anything to report on the cold?
Thank you, Mayor Curtis. Again, I just have two topics I would like to highlight tonight, then answer any questions. First, the enforcement of the RPP program has been initiated for Johnson Court and parts of Johnson Avenue, mainly focused on Johnson Avenue between Hayes and Glenarden Parkway. And secondly, on 3/9, Prince George's County Department of Permitting, Inspections, and Enforcement, DPI for short, has issued a violation notice to the new owners of the UE of Woodmore Town Center, providing them with a total of 4 weeks to comply with DPI's request to obtain valid UNOs for the ownership and for the businesses that's there as well. I've been made aware that if their failure to comply will result in the issuance of civil citations. And then moving forward, DPI will provide the city with additional information as soon as possible. Thank you for listening, and I'm open to any questions.
Any questions for Mr. Green? Councilwoman Jones?
Thank you, Mayor Curtis. The one thing I noticed, Mr. Green, and then we'll probably discuss this a little later because this just happened recently. The sign for the hearing on 11th Street has been taken down. So I don't know what the status of that is, but like I said, that's something we can talk about a little later. But I did notice on one of my drive arounds through the city about a couple of weeks ago that there was still that trailer was at 3658 Cousins. And then last week I went through there again and it was gone. And if I'm not mistaken, when I was briefed on this before, the judgment on that was given in December. Am I correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so, and it was just moved last week. So if the judgment was issued in December, who was the judgment issued by, the court system or DPI?
The court system, district court.
Okay, the district court issued that judgment. So when the judgment is given by the district court, and why did it take us 2 months for it to be executed? Or for the trailer to be removed? Not really, I just don't understand why it took that long to execute. We have to, when a judgment is issued by the district court, that means you went through all of the processes to get this taken care of. And it probably took more than maybe 6 months to get the judgment thing. Once the judgment was issued in December and it wasn't executed, I have issue with that. It's just like if the Anthony Brown came down and sent somebody to send a warrant for my arrest, and he went to the city to let Chief know that we're going to pick Miss Jones up. Chief has no jurisdiction to say, "Oh no, that's Councilwoman Jones. I don't want her arrested." If you have a judgment executed by the court system, it should be done immediately. Nobody can stand in the way and say that we can hold off or we can wait. So in the future, like I said, I was briefed in December that that thing was given a judgment. And here it is March, 3 months later, and it was just gone last week. That's unacceptable. We cannot do that, whether it's the police department or one of my colleagues on the council or the administration. We have to, when we get these judgments executed, when we get these judgments issued, they need to be executed immediately. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments? Okay. I'll move on to the chief report. Acting Chief Robinson. Chief Robinson? Hold up right now.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I was hitting. Okay. Good evening, Mayor, Mayor Pro Temp, City Council, City Manager, and citizens of the City of Glenarden. How you guys doing? I have submitted my report, and I am ready to answer any questions that anyone has as it relates to the report.
Thank you. Any questions from council as it relates to the chief of police report? Chief, hearing none, we'll go on to Mr. Stewart, City Treasurer.
Thank you, guys. Have a good night.
Mr. Stewart, do you have anything to add, or are you open for questions?
Good night, everybody. Yes, I have two updates to give to the council. The first one is about the American Rescue Plan. I've actually closed it out last week. So for the American Rescue Plan, we are closed, and we're just waiting for them to see if they will come and ask for an audit to be done. So as far as that is concerned, we're ready, and waiting for if they should come and ask us. The other update I'd like to, and it's really a discussion, it's about the constant yield tax rate. I'd sent my recommendation, which I should say Mr. Councilman Herring has also agreed, is that we should keep the tax rate that we have from last year. The tax rate for the constant yield is 0.3777, and what we currently have is 0.3947. So that may be something I would like to get some advice on. Not only that we need an advice on it now, but we need to act on it, because the 0.39 is more than the constant yield. And if so, we need to do all the advertising and the public hearing and everything that we need to do to bring that to close so that we could move forward. That will be it.
Okay, and I know we have to advertise it, so let's start with that first. Is there any opposition for keeping the constant yield at the same rate as it was last year of 39? Sorry, Mr. Stewart. 47.
3947.
I know we will officially. I see a hand, Councilwoman Cross.
Yeah, as I did last year, I still am in debate against that because of the amount of change that's happened financially. We predicted that there was going to be a fiduciary issue from the federal government. It happened. We didn't know there was going to be 2 furloughs. With the amount of taxation that's hitting the residents already, from gas prices to water bills, I just think that we need to give our residents a break. And we're getting a lot of money coming in from these speed cameras, which could help also offset anything that we lose. So at this point, 3.7 is not that far away. I think we just hold with the constant tax yield and let the citizens heal. Thank you.
Any other comments?
Yes, Mayor.
Yes, sir,
Yeah,
Councilman Harris.
I support the 0.39 again. We basically really have to do it because last year we had to take $150,000 from our reserves to close that budget deficit, along with a tax increase. I think this, if we maintain what we have now, that'll bring in the additional money that we need to meet that, at least part of it. So I mean, I understand, times are hard, but times are hard across the board. It's either that or we start laying people off or cutting services, one of the two, because we can't continue to roll back the tax rate and maintain the services that we have. Our services they're costing us. So that's my feeling on that. All right, thanks.
Thank you. Any other comments before we go to a consensus? consensus, and then we'll have the official resolution at a later date. Councilwoman Cross?
Yeah, we gave out $500 per household in the city of Glenarden. We didn't do that once, twice. We did it almost 3 times. So that caused a lot of that deficit. But at the end of the day, the residents themselves have been fighting hard, trying to hold the county tax as well as our, whatever's coming out from like their local sales taxes. I've watched just on my street alone, 4 houses go up on the market. So I just feel like we're at a place where folks are at a breaking point, and we're not a fool around in the city as far as employment. So I don't know that that's going to hurt us that bad. Relative to the citizens, though, we put in a bill to kind of help those that were impacted by furlough. There's a bill that was put in to try and buy police officers, to secure the city. We just finished having a discussion about policing and the county supporting. I just think that we just need to hold. Just 1 year is all we're asking, to give the citizens an opportunity to let their budgets solidify, and it's not going to be that big of a drastic change. I mean, we're talking 0.02. So, literally like $50 a household, something like that. Over.
Madam Clerk, to do a roll call for consensus. Yes, to keep it at 39%, and no to go with the what is it, Mr. Stewart, the tax yield rate from the state?
It's recommended 3777.
Okay.
0.3777.
All right. So the consensus again is yes to go to 39%. Your no will be in agreement with what was recommended from the state at 37%. Yes is 39, no is 37. So, Madam
Okay.
Clerk.
Councilwoman Cross,
No.
Councilman Harrison,
Yes.
Councilman Herring,
Yes.
Councilwoman Jones,
I'm sorry, for clarification, Mayor Curtis, you said that's a 0.39 is what we're already at?
Correct, is what we charged last year.
And that's a yes to maintain.
Yes to keep it at 39, and no to go with a 37 from the state.
Yes.
Okay.
Councilman Williams, Councilman Williams,
No.
Construction there now is.
I'm sorry, could you repeat that? Councilman Williams, can you repeat your answer? Okay, we'll move to Mayor Curtis,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Ferguson, Mayor Pro Tem Ferguson, Councilman Williams, Mayor Pro Tem Ferguson. Okay, so we have two council members who did not respond.
It could be computer issues because I see that they just dropped. I don't know
Yeah,
the
it's-
wind is
It's
picking up
storming
out
outside.
there. Yeah. I don't want to speak for Mr. Williams. I thought he said no, but I'll just, we can get their votes at a later time. What's the count thus far?
It was one,
It was 4 yeses, I believe.
4 yes, two,
One
one no, I think, one no,
and 2 clarifications.
right.
Okay. At this point, we do have 4 So, Mr. Stewart, you can proceed with the advertising,
Yes, we'll move forward. Thank you.
and then we will just need the official resolution.
Yes.
Okay. All right. That's any other questions for Mr. Stewart as it relates to treasurer's report? Still good as it relates to having a quorum, even though 2 people dropped. Yep. All right, we'll move on. Mr. Green, I see you have your hand raised. Is there something pertaining to the treasurer's report?
No, Mayor Curtis, I'm sorry. Once Councilwoman Jones had finished speaking as it relates to her issue that she brought up with code, my code officer, T. Jones, would like to speak to that concern that she had. And I understand that our time is well past now, but she had just contacted me. She wanted something important to say.
Yeah. Yeah. Next time, if she could just email, that'd be great. Miss Councilwoman Jones would you like to hear from Miss Jones?
She can she can send us an email if she'd like, because I kind of got, I don't think it was an issue with code why that wasn't executed when it was supposed to be. But I just want to let them know, whenever they get a judgment from a district court, that nobody can stop them from executing that judgment, that they have the right, because they are just like police officers, they just don't carry a lethal. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. All right. So I think the storm is picking up and we're getting some people to drop. I just want to make sure we maintain the quorum. I see 4 people here. Councilman Herring, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. My power went out.
Okay. All right, so we still have a quorum, and we're going to move on to citizens' comments so that,
Me too.
we can move on. Yeah. All right, so we'll open the floor for citizens' comments. We'll try to hang on as long as we can. I understand some people powers are going out. So with that, you'll have 5 minutes. Just know that if I chime in, I'm not trying to be rude, but your 5 minutes are up if I chime in. So please state your name, your ward, and you proceed with your 5 minutes. I see a hand raised, and that is from Tawan. Hopefully I spelled that name.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Yeah, so good afternoon, by the way. So issue I have is I guess with the parking. So I'm on Ward 1, and at my mom's house, her visitor passes got revoked. Now, a lot of my take on this is a lot of people, let me not say a lot, some people have owned multiple vehicles prior to the program getting put in place. Now, I don't personally think it was enough parking passes to give out that y'all gave out for residents at the end of the day, but at the same time, y'all gave 2 residentials and 2 visitors. The issue at hand is you then dictated how you can use the passes. So it now feels like a dictatorship because at that point, they revoked her 2 visitor passes. They said you can't be a resident and use the visitor pass. But if I had vehicles prior to your program already in play, what am I supposed to do? I spoke with somebody, not gonna say who I spoke with, but I spoke to somebody, and the response was, well, you just park it on another street. For what if I got space in front of the house? On top of that, wouldn't that then crowd the other street if everybody started doing that? So I don't really see the issue with the parking if people parking on the street. They're not parking in somebody's grass. They're not parking and blocking somebody's driveway. If there's space on the street and people are parking on the street, I don't really see the issue. And I think what makes it bad, like one of the council people spoke on, finances. If I get my car towed on a Thursday and I don't get paid till next week, well, guess who got to eat that long ass bill? Pardon my French, but guess who got to eat that big bill? You know what I'm saying? I don't think that's fair to people to have to worry about getting a vehicle towed because they don't have quote unquote an, the right to use a visitor pass that was given to them. So, in my opinion, if I'm gonna get the visitor pass, if I choose to use it on mine, and guess what? I just can't have no visitors. But I don't think it's fair for you to tell me how to park, what I can do with the passes. I think that's unfair overall as somebody who paying for certain things in the area, paying for a house, who paying for mortgage, you're doing all the things, but then it's starting to move like a HOA, but it's no HOA. It's like a dictate. Like again, you tell me I can't park a certain amount of cars, and then you tell me, okay, here's the passes, and then you tell me, okay, well, this is how you got to use the passes, and you can't use this visitor pass for your regular vehicle. But what I'm supposed to do? My daughter get home and she's in college. What is she supposed to do at that point? Park her on the street? She's 20, 21 years old. We're not gonna act like crime don't happen in Glenarden because it does. So in those cases, I feel like something needs to be revised because it ain't like it's not parking. There's parking. People just don't feel like they want to see all the vehicles. But I mean, at the end of the day, if there's street parking, I don't see the issue parking on the street. You can go ahead, Mayor.
So what are you requesting something?
For y'all to look at that parking pass issue, because for to tell a resident that you got two residentials and two visitors, you basically only saying that hey, you can only own one vehicle, and this is 2026. People own multiple vehicles, and it's space on the street though.
So I have a question. Do you have a driveway?
Got a driveway, so that's one. You put one there. You got one right
Okay.
there.
And you have how many? I mean, if you don't mind let me ask how many cars do you have?
So you got my sister got a car, my mother got two cars, and my daughter coming to town. That's four. But there's space to park there. She's in the cul-de-sac.
So you have four total cars,
Mm-hmm.
with one in the driveway and three will be on the street.
Mm-hmm.
And so you're saying that you can get the two parking passes, but that'll mean one does not have a parking pass.
Yeah, they got revoked. They said it was
And
abuse. They said it was abuse of the passes being used.
well, if your daughter's visiting, how I don't.
I
Yeah.
mean, but if she coming again, school about to let out, she gonna be there for some months.
Uh-huh. And so, are you, like I said, what are you requesting? I know you want us to look at it, but are you making an official request outside of a
More
recommendation?
more residential passes. Not basically dictating how you use the visitor passes. I mean, y'all sticking with the program, I get it. Um, but I don't think y'all should have the say on how you use the visitor passes personally.
Okay.
Cause that's a hefty ass bill to go to the tow truck and pay $175 to get it out. And like I
Yeah,
said, some people not fortunate enough to do that. So they gotta wait to payday, then they in the hundreds at that point.
I understand. I understand. Um, and Zoom user, I see your hand, so you don't have to hold it up. I'll call you next. I do have a question for Mr. Green. as relates to the policy on visitor passes.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, is there a criteria for abuse on visitor passes?
There is a criteria on abuse. Each citizen on the RPP designated street was given the instructions, the information that it relates to the do's and don'ts of the program. That's one of the don'ts. You can't use your visitor passes for residential vehicles that live there, because of course, then that would allow some citizens to have 3, 4 cars parked on the street, which would probably defeat the purpose of the program, which is to keep get these vehicles off of the streets and into the driveways and allow them to have 2 residential passes and 2 visitor passes per the actual ordinance that was passed. All of this information came directly from the ordinance.
All right. Thank you, sir. And so, Tawan, I hear your recommendation of us taking a look at this, and I'll put it as a topic of discussion for our work session in April.
All
right. Thank you. Zoom user, if you can state your name and where you're from, and you have 5 minutes. Talking, but you are on mute.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay, hi, my name is Flora Ford. I live on Delwood Avenue, and I'm requesting reimbursement for my vehicle that was towed on March the 9th. I thought that the car had been stolen, and we called the police. Then when we looked on the cameras, my husband saw that the car was being towed, and I was informed by Officer Johnson that when I put in my information in September, that I had keyed in my vehicle tag number wrong, which I was not aware of, and the car has been parked out there for 6 months. So then on the 9th, she said I had 71298 instead of 71299, and I informed her that when I did the paperwork online, I called there and I don't know if it was her, but I talked with someone there to go over everything I keyed in to make sure it was correct, because I was trying to do 3 vehicles and they only let me use 2. I read my tag number, I read my VIN number, I read everything, and they told me everything was correct. So for 6 months later, the car to get towed and I'm charged $176. I think that was just totally absurd. And I've been here 30-some years and I followed your plan. Then to have my other vehicle on Glenarden Parkway, because we can only have 2 passes, which we don't have a pass actually in our hand. Now, all of a sudden, after my car get towed on the 9th, now I'm getting all these emails from you all that I never even received before. So I talked to Mr. Green. I called him on Monday also about this to get my $176 back. Because we can only have 2 passes, which we don't have a pass actually in our hand. And then someone bothered our car that's on Glenarden Parkway, and then the tire is flat. So we have get that fixed, because that's vandalism, because we can't have the car parked in front of our house. $76 back. Someone bothered our car that's on Glenarden Parkway, and then the tire is flat. So we have to get that fixed, because that's vandalism, because we can't have the car parked in front of our house.
I'm sorry. Are you saying something?
Yes, I was just saying I wanted to get reimbursed for the $176 for my car being towed erroneously, and it's parked in front of my door. We also could see on the camera where the person that towed the car had a flashlight and looked at the VIN number. So you can tell it was our vehicle.
Mr. Green, did you want to chime in here?
Yes, no, I just wanted to say that as I spoke with her before and apologize about the scenario that happened, I need to follow up because I thought that this matter had been resolved between the citizen and Officer Johnson. I think that's what was reported to me. So if the citizen would allow me to get back with her as it relates to the details of this matter, and as it relates to the refund, I would greatly appreciate it.
Yes,
Again,
Officer Johnson told me to bring it to this meeting. I was going to come in person, but because of the weather issues, that's why we're online. And she said I had to come to the city council to try to get my money back. And I told her that like I said, I've been here over 30 some years, and the car was parked out front. The guy looked at the VIN number. For 6 months, the car has been out there. There's no way I knew that this thing was keyed and wrong because I called to verify, and I was told that everything I put in was correct, and that the reason that the third vehicle wouldn't go through because I could only have 2 vehicles. So then we parked that third vehicle on Glenarden Parkway, and then we had to be, to me, it's like bullying with the police coming knocking on our door, because then we have residents on Glenarden Parkway complaining about our vehicle being parked around there. But what we're going to do with it? We can't park it over here because we can only have two parking passes.
Thank you. Miss
Ford.
I do have a question for you, if you don't mind me asking.
Sure.
How many cars do you have?
We have 4 vehicles. Now, my daughter has a vehicle, and my husband and I have a vehicle, and then we have a spare vehicle because the grandchildren, use the other one.
And do you have a driveway?
Yes, 1 vehicle's in the driveway, and we had 3 on the street.
Driveway and 3 on the street. Okay, thank you. I appreciate that. And Mr. Green, you can verify that she did indeed register with the city. In addition to the tag number, the VIN number is registered as well, correct?
Yes, it was.
Mr. Green?
We go by the tag number. That's what they look at when they use their tag reader. They read the tags. So I'm not sure why in this particular case he was getting out looking at the VIN. This is the first time I'm hearing about that, as I was made aware of the situation. I had not heard about the VIN situation before tonight.
Wouldn't it be basically a quality control to have 2 forms of checks? So if I can't get the tag number, then I could verify the VIN. If the VIN checked out, then I will leave that car alone.
I think that's what happened before, because I've seen the cars on our street being towed. And like I said, it's been 6 months. The car is always out front.
Thank you, Ms. Ford.
And yes, Mayor, I'll speak with the contractor and see, what else the system will allow us to do to make sure that we don't have one single point of failure. We at least has another way that they can verify whether the vehicle should be there or not.
And who do I get in touch with to try to find out for me to get
second.
Okay.
1 second. So if Mr. Green, so you're going to verify what?
I'm going to verify with the contractor how we can have another point of verifying whether a car belongs on that particular street and is registered or not. It seems like maybe there was something that was happening with the tag that made the tow driver get out and look at the VIN. That's a little confusing for me because the whole point of doing the tag reader was so that they didn't have to do that. So again, this is the first time I've heard that is happening. So I will for sure be checking into this matter and trying to put something in place to avoid this from happening again moving forward.
And has the system been updated to reflect the correct tag number?
Yes, Officer Johnson did that day. And she
I'm sorry.
emailed me a copy of it too.
This was after the total.
That was after, I had to pay the $176 to get the vehicle, yes.
Okay, thank you.
She said that if you all assisted me, that then I should get my money back. But if I did it on my own, then I would be liable. I said, well, they assisted me because I'm not that good with the computers and stuff, and I needed help. That's why I called you all when I was keying it in September.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. All right, so we know the issue, and your 5 minutes have expired, but I will ask for before I ask for consensus. Mr. Wood, you look like you want to say something.
Oh, I was just gonna. I didn't know where council was moving, but I was gonna say if we would be able to look into this, investigate, discuss tomorrow, and then provide council an email with the recommendation of the team for consensus via email.
Okay, great. Is there and yeah, and I didn't know if we had any. Yeah, out. Never mind. I'll just go with what you said. Councilwoman Jones.
I have one question concerning this. Thank you, Mayor Curtis. When when a resident applies for the parking plan, once they get all of their information and put it in the system, are they not sent a confirmation document to let them know that they have it went in the system and the information that they gave is given on this document to say that it's been received, or no?
Good evening,
Agree.
Councilwoman Jones. Yes, they receive an alert to let them know. Most people put their own information in, so once they put that information in, they receive an alert letting them know that their information has been received and it has been uploaded in the system.
So when you all do it manually, do they also get a notification?
Yes, so many times citizens come into the office and we will put their information in right there in the office. And once we put their telephone number in or their email address, depending on which way they want to get notified, yes, a notification is then sent to their email address or to their cell phone number.
And it indicates the license number and or well, not the VIN number because you said it doesn't take the VIN, but it does show the license plate number.
No, it does not.
I was
I'm
just
sorry.
going.
Disagree.
I was just going to say, Councilwoman Jones, that I need to double check that to confirm. I'm not sure that it does. I think it just tells them that their permit is active. So I would need to double check whether it lets provides you a snapshot of that particular information.
Okay, so Mr. Wood can send that in the email, the verification of whether it's done or not, once you get that clarity.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you, Mayor Curtis.
Thank you. And I will make a suggestion that if it is not, then it definitely should be.
Absolutely. There's a few opportunities here for some improvement, I think, that we've identified in Ms. Ford. I know Director Green will be reaching out to you and the team tomorrow. I know there were some pieces that were new to him. So we will contact you tomorrow, and Mayor and Council will circle back with a recommendation by the close of business tomorrow.
All right. Thank you. And thank you, Mrs. Ford. Are there any other citizens' comments before we adjourn? See any hands? With that, any final comments from council before we adjourn? Okay. The time is 9:53. Stay dry, stay warm, stay safe. This meeting is now adjourned. Thank you. Have a good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good evening all.
Have a good evening.